In our headlines tonight, Governor Obiano calls for promotion of love and tolerance to build a better society. Anambra State government cautions keke operators against remitting revenue to unauthorized persons. Federal government to demolish structures on Lagos-Ibadan rail corridor. 8 suspected terrorists killed in Saudi Arabia. A beautiful good evening to you. Glad to have you join us on the news tonight. My name is Maureen Stone Enujoke. Governor Willie Obiano has called for promotion of love and tolerance to build a better society. Governor Obiano was speaking at the 3rd session of the 11th Synod of the Anglican Diocese of Oka at St. Jude's Anglican Church, Adaziani, and Ocha Council area. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye has the details.
The synod, presided over by the president of the synod and the Anglican Bishop of Oka Diocese, Right Reverend Alexander Ibezim, has its theme as the victory that has overcome the world, even our faith, and was attended by the archbishops, including the Archbishop of Ecclesiastical Province of the Niger and Bishop of Nnewi Diocese, Right Reverend Professor Godwin Obala, other bishops, house of clergy, including some from sister churches, traditional rulers led by the traditional ruler of Adaziani, Igwe Robert Nwankwo, knights and ladies of the church, Ndi Adaziani Anglican community, and other faithful. Governor Obiano, who asked the church to intensify sensitization on the need for love and understanding among the people, he reminded them of the importance of Anambra State Health Insurance Scheme, which was introduced to ensure better and good living condition of Ndi Anambra, urging them to enroll in one of the 60 hospitals designated for the scheme, including mission hospitals.
And for the wealthy amongst you, it's also important that you take out this insurance for your parents, for your siblings, for the less privileged in the society that may not afford this.
In a sermon to mark the synod service, a guest preacher, Right Reverend Jacob Bada, who is the bishop, Diocese of Esako, Province of Bende, said that anyone created by God must be spiritually alive as trials, tribulations, and persecutions filled in the world, stating that God gave Christians the mandate to overcome, which they can achieve through faith, prayers, and fasting.
And I want to say that if the pastors, our priests, our venerables, our canons, and our priests will remember where they are coming from, I want to tell them that God never forgets anyone.
The synod president had earlier paid a courtesy call to the traditional ruler of Adaziani, Igwe Robert Nwankwo, where he intimidated him on the many benefits of synod. In his response, Igwe Nwankwo extolled the Anglican community for their enormous work in his community, stating that the first synod attracted development, peace, and progress, and expressed the hope that the ongoing one will be a huge success. The bishop later prayed for the governor and the state. Among the dignitaries present at the synod service were the former governor of Anambra State, Dame Veji Etiaba, Secretary to the State Government, Professor Solochukwu Lobelo, the State Chief of Staff, Mr. Primus Odili, retired Diocesan Chancellor, Justice Okechukwu Okeke, among others, while cutting of synod cake and special rendition by the St. Jude Church Choir featured in the synod. From Adazi, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
Faith has been described as panacea for achieving success and long life. A visiting prelate and Bishop of Lagos West Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend James Odedeji, who said this in a sermon at St. Jude's Church at Adaziani during a service, said that to work effectively, efficiently, and properly in all ramifications of life, one needs to build a strong faith, as lack of faith destroys every dream. Amaka Chibuzo Okoye has the details.
Right Reverend Dr. Odedeji maintained that the successful men in the Bible applied faith, citing Lazarus, Daniel, and others, stating that it is an instrument to overcome the world and elevate one to greater heights in life. Right Reverend Odedeji also advised Christians to pray without ceasing, seek the face of God, and be humble in all their dealings, as Christ, whom they emulate, is compassionate, merciful, and ever ready to forgive all.
The victory that overcome the world is faith. Faith is a walking stick. Faith is a walking stick. To walk properly, to walk efficiently, to walk effectively, you need faith.
Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, ABS News.
Anambra State Commissioner for Transport, Mr. Uchenna Okafor, has directed tricycle riders in the state not to remit their internally generated revenue, IGR, to anybody until ban is lifted. Mr. Okafor said this while addressing some tricycle riders who stormed the Jerome Odoji Secretariat Complex, Oka, to protest against multiple tickets imposed on them daily. We have the details.
The tricycle operators, known as keke riders, lamented that they were being forced by their union leaders to obtain other tickets under threat and intimidation. The commissioner noted that Governor Willie Obiano banned collection of IGR for some time now so as to enable them to carry on with their businesses and be able to feed their families. The commissioner told the tricycle riders to appoint 3 persons that will represent them and submit their names to the ministry's liaison officer in charge of tricycle affairs for immediate action. He urged them to purchase only 1 ticket when ban on IGR would have been lifted by June this year. Earlier, one of the tricycle riders, Mr. Chukwuemeka Iwuno, who spoke on behalf of others, pleaded with the commissioner to intervene in insistent exploitation of their members.
The international community is observing today as Nurses Day. It is a day aimed at celebrating the contributions made by nurses all over the world and to honor them as they do a job that is often unappreciated. It is also used to celebrate Florence Nightingale, the founder of modern nursing. International Council of Nurses encouraged all nurses to get involved with the celebration and raise their voices to show the world how important nursing is for the health of individuals, families, and communities. This year's event has its theme as Nursing the Balance of Mind, Body, and Spirit. The people of Orifita in Ekusigo local government area are seeking for federal government's intervention on the 3 devastating gully erosion sites in the community. The erosion sites are at Awo Isewu, Olioba, and the civic center of the community. They have rendered families and around useless, and the farms in the area as well have been cut off. We have the full details.
The ruler of the community, Dr. Dan Odoji, attributed the cause of the erosion to wrong channeling of drainages during the construction of Onitsha-Owerri Road and heavy deforestation activities in the area. He appealed to the federal government to quickly intervene as the challenge is enormous.
Well, the erosion problem is partly man-made and partly natural, because the one at Olioba, we can contribute it to the incompetent contractor that built this road and failed to channel the water down to the stream, and they left the water to run wild and create the erosion. The other ones are due to the soil. The soil, we don't have a very strong soil in Anambra, so the soil is so porous and so weak that erosion is very rampant everywhere. It's not something the community can do. This is a highly technical job. It requires erosion management team.
Other community leaders also lent their voices to the play.
If you now and Geba and Ebony Niger go on Rift, they go and Bize na Maya can so much. If only Maya Caligo. So I went up for a team and one Ozano phone here.
It is a very, it used to be a road connecting the civic center and the village, the Umozopidi Fite, the Unod. But because of this erosion, those towns are now cut off. When they are coming to the civic center, they won't have, they have to find their no accessibility. And secondly, you find that if something is not urgently done, the way it is moving, it will affect our civic center. And that will ultimately be another problem for the community. So when we are appealing to the government to please come to our aid immediately. This one is devastating because it's involving all. If you look at the buildings up there, you can see that with this rain coming, some of these buildings will submerge. So for a few years ago, we have been witnessing a kind of erosion sites that take a while anyway. You can see some economic tree has been vanished, which we don't know what to do about it. We have informed government several occasions about it, so we don't know. We believe maybe this will be the opportunity for them to take care of it because we have been seeking help about it for so many years.
You're still watching ABS Television News Channel 2 for Oka. Still to come, federal government to demolish structures on Lagos-Ibadan rail corridor and 8 suspected terrorists killed in Saudi Arabia. Stay tuned.
The power of cool. Everybody love me when I do what I do. Because when I come through, I got the power of cool.
Welcome back. The federal government has directed all owners of businesses and structures within the Apapa-Ebutameta corridor of Lagos-Ibadan Railway to relocate in order to allow the construction of the rail projects continue without delay. The Apex government equally explained challenges hindering conveying of cargoes by train to and from the ports, disclosing that it had not constructed the standard gauge as its full capacity. The Minister for Transportation, Mr. Rotimi Amechi, gave the directive at a meeting with stakeholders on the ongoing Lagos-Ibadan rail project at Papalanto, Ogun State. At the stakeholders meeting, the minister said there would not be construction without demolition, noting that human beings are occupying the existing right-of-way illegally. Amechi asked the officials of the Lagos State Ministry of Transportation to write through the state secretary to the government, notifying him on the promise he made concerning the building located at number 5 and 7 Funshaw Williams Avenue beside Costain Bridge, Lagos State. 8 members of what Saudi authorities call a terrorist cell were killed in a police raid in Saudi Arabia's eastern Qatif region, a Shia minority state stronghold. The recently formed cell was preparing to carry out terrorist activities against the security of the country, according to a state security spokesperson. The spokesperson said the men were killed after they fired shots at security forces who had surrounded a residential apartment in the Sanabis neighborhood. No civilians or security forces were injured in the operation, he added. In now sports, Manchester City have won the 2018-2019 English Premier League title after defeating Brighton 4-1 at the Amex Stadium. Sergio Aguero scored at the 28th minute to cancel out Glenn Murray's lead for Brighton. He drilled a low left-footed strike between Matthew Ryan's legs into the net. Aymeric Laporte got the second for the citizens in the 38th minute, and Riyaz Mahrez scored the third after 63 minutes, firing to the top corner of the net. The final goal of the day came from Gondor, and with a brilliant free kick in the 77th minute to hand Man City the second Premier League title in a row, with a total of 98 points after 32 wins, 1 point above Liverpool, who beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 2-0 at Anfield on the final day. They became the first team to do so for the first time since the 1992-1993 season when the league was reformed. Meanwhile, Liverpool defender Virgil van Dijk has been named the Premier League Player of the Season for 2018-2019. Van Dijk missed only 35 minutes of the Reds' 37 matches before the campaign finale on Sunday, helping to register 20 clean sheets and scoring 4 goals. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television and subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS TV Online. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website www.absradiotv.com. And just before we go, a recap of the main points. Governor Obiano has called for promotion of love and tolerance to build a better society. Anambra State government has cautioned keke operators against remitting revenue to unauthorized persons. Federal government is to demolish structures on Lagos-Ibadan rail corridor, and 8 suspected terrorists have been killed in Saudi Arabia. And that's it tonight on our news. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Marin Stone Enujoke. Good night.